crowded room, the mood was right. There she was, swaying so beautifully. The girl in the birdcage, she's calling to me. Oh, she danced, my heart took flight, spinning in that cage all through the night. She stole my heart with her eyes so bright. That's when I knew that she would be my wife. Her rhythm caught me, pulled me near, a song of love I long to hear. Twirling in that gilded frame, she lit my soul, she spoke my name. Oh, she danced, my heart took flight, spinning in that cage all through the night. She stole my heart with her eyes so bright. That's when I knew that she would be my wife. Now every step, every sway leads me to our wedding day. From that cage she set me free, my forever, just her and me. Oh, she danced, my heart took flight, spinning in that cage all through the night. She stole my heart with her eyes so bright. That's when I knew that she would be my wife.
What is up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Aloha Friday. And happy Aloha Friday, everyone. We've made it to the end of the week. We are here. It is time to relax and chill. Thank you so much for everyone tuning in on the live or on the replay if you're watching this on the rollback. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. It is time to chill. But before we chill, let's get the boss in the studio. D, how are you?
I'll say happy Aloha Friday, everybody.
Get
Guess
ready.
what? Guess
Get
what?
ready.
It's Aloha Friday. No work till Monday. Do 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 do.
He's got to run away.
Maybe he was dancing in the studio.
Could be. I wasn't watching.
Maybe he was dancing the hula. I
He
don't
could
know.
be. Yes.
Anyway,
Yeah,
it's a happy Aloha Friday once again. I feel like these shows, maybe it's just because we have so much shows. I always feel like, oh, it's Aloha Friday again, and this dude is so excited. But yeah, it's been a really great day, very productive in the morning.
Yeah.
And then rushed off to drop the Miss Punchline off to her sleepover. And then I fought my way through traffic to come back so we could be here for Aloha Friday. So yeah, it's been a real wonderful day. What about you, Hinano? How are you doing today?
I'm good. I work from home today, which I always like. It's good and bad to work from home because, for one, when you work from home, the kitchen is right downstairs. And no joke, the kitchen's right below me. And so it's very accessible for me to warm up a pizza, grill up a steak or something like that. It's dangerous, but it's also fun to work from home.
Steak?
So, yeah, someone say steak? Oh, he said steak, but yeah, no, I'm doing good, guys. Thank you so much for joining us today. We have an awesome episode. D, who do we have in the studio today?
Okay, we have Kristopher. He's I hear he just actually recently had a birthday, so please wish him a happy belated birthday. Yes. So
I don't have a birthday transition. I got rid of, but you know what, guys? This works just as well. should get him in here first, though, before we wish him happy birthday, huh?
Right, yes. And then we can sing to him. I don't know if that'll chase him away.
We'll let you sing. You can sing in the audience watching. But before we get him in, you guys, there is a premiere that we're going to be doing tonight, and it's for our movie Lost Tides. And it's a director's cut. So it's actually longer than the very first episode that I put out. And so what I did was I actually created episode 2. And then I decided, why not combine them together and redo the first scenes to kind of make them a little bit more cohesive. And I showed it to the team, and they said, you got to air the whole thing in its entirety. So instead of airing like a 1.5, 2 minute short film, it's going to be almost a 4-minute short film that you guys are going to get to see of Lost Tides. And instead of me explaining what it's about, I know some of you guys know what it's about. I'm just going to show you guys this, and then we're going to get our guests in the studio, all right? We'll be right back.
Right.
Red alert. Commander, take us in.
Something massive on sonar, Captain. It's closing fast.
Crew of the Corsair, we've discovered Atlantis.
Just so everyone knows, this is an original story that I wrote with original characters that I created with an original plot that I all curated. Obviously, I did have the AI help me. The AI was a typewriter, and I literally fed it the data. But this is an entirely story that I curated myself. I used AI to do the whole production. I scored the whole thing myself, and it's our IP. So I'm very proud of it, guys. Whether people like it or not, that's cool. But you know what? We're going to show it tonight. And a little bit later. But right now, let's get our guests in the studio. How's about that?
Yes, let's get him in. Bring
All
him
right,
on
guys.
up.
We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, Kristopher Stid, how are you? Oh, you're muted, my friend. or he might have had an audio issue. Sometimes it happens here on StreamYards. It's a thing that happens.
StreamYard.
Christopher. I can mime for you if you'd like, but it's all good. Sometimes it's happened. I think.
There we go. How are we doing?
There you go.
Hey, there he is.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kristopher.
How you doing, brother?
Doing great. How is everyone tonight?
Good, man. Good. I'm excited to have you here. We briefly met you in Vegas. And what I mean briefly, it was like really quick. And so I'm really stoked that you're here because I feel like we did not have the conversation we should have had when we saw each other in person. You're not the only one that we also told this as well. I believe we told this to VB Jesus as well as vegan things. So thank you for coming and hanging out with us today.
You're welcome. It's good to be here tonight. Thank you.
Let's go.
It's gonna be awesome. No, it's gonna be awesome. Like I was telling Kristopher before the show started that, like, I literally in Vegas is what we're talking about in Decon Vegas, at the what do you call it, arcade after party. Like I looked up, you introduced yourself to me. I'm like, oh, okay, you're Kristopher. How are you? And you're like, how are you? And then we just kind of like went off to like say hi to other people. and then I didn't see you for the rest of the night. So I'm glad that we finally have the chance now to talk story. And
Real quick, Christopher, I believe we got some bad feedback coming from your mic. Is there any way we can fix that?
Yeah, let me see what's going on there. Hold on.
okay.
Yeah, but anyways, while he's figuring that out, guys, yes, to kind of reiterate with D, we did get to meet him at Ninja Karaoke, just like a lot of other people, and there was a lot of people that we did not have a lot of time to talk with. So luckily that we have this outlet that we can actually reach out and continue the conversation this way.
Yeah.
Hey, there we go.
There we go.
That sounds way better, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right.
Also, guys, if you want, we are running a giveaway. If you want to win something in chat, enter hashtag cinematic adventures in the chats down below. And Christopher, I'm just going to jump right in as we normally do. I hope you don't mind. And I kind of wanted to know, how did you get into this space, specifically the Web3 space, digital collecting, you know, the VV community, the Backhow community? How did you find your way here?
Sure. Well, it was kind of ironic. I had been watching movies throughout COVID, just to kind of kill time. I was the only one in the theaters where I was at. So come to find out, long story short, there was a promotion for the Batman film that actually had an NFT assigned to it, which was for the candy space.
Really?
So that's actually what got me into it. And then the Jurassic World film, that was for Vivi, for the Velociraptors. And so when I got the movie ticket, I got like 20 movie tickets. Just me, and I booked out maybe like 2 rows of seats. I have, I think, like 20 popcorn buckets, like the 130-ounce buckets.
Yeah.
And I just went to town. So I signed up. I got the NFTs. I signed up for Vivi. I was like, what is this? And so I got my NFTs, and then I was like, wait, this is actually kind of cool. Like, what is this? And then all of a sudden, I got a couple of comics. Okay. And then I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. I had the flip foldable phone. So, you know, you just kind of go through and scroll through everything. I'm like, this is awesome. I can read comics. I don't need to go anywhere.
Yeah.
They're all on the phone. Cool. Great. Okay. Then all of a sudden I started getting on YouTube and was like, wait, who else is talking about Vivi? Like, what is this space? Because that's usually how I stumble upon things. Then all of a sudden I met My Collectibles. And then that's when things just took off from there. And it's been fun. It's been a fun ride.
Nice. So you kind of came in a little bit later than us. I believe D and I came in I want to say 2022. It was around the Voltron drop. I don't know if you were around here during that time.
No,
But
I think so.
okay, so yeah, we kind of came in right where we're at the top, right? And then we're slowly kind of coming down. And I've said this story a couple times that I came here mainly for the value proposition. But when I figured out what we're doing here, you know, it brought back a lot of that nostalgia of collecting. I grew up as a comic book collector, as well as I'm a movie buff as well. I grew up watching all the 80s movies. I'm one of them guys that saves all of my movie stubs, and I have them in a box, you know, in my closet. Unfortunately, the popcorn buckets, there wasn't a lot of theaters here that did that. They're only doing it now. So I never got to collect popcorn buckets, but we would do these things called cinematic adventures, and I'll get into that a little bit later. But movies and growing up for me was a big thing. Like, it was a big thing to go with your friends to the theater. I was the only one who had a car back then on the island. So literally everyone would pile up in my car and I would drive to we only had like 2 theaters on the island at the time. I mean, so just imagine you had to drive 2.5 hours away from your house to go watch a movie. So that's why we used to call them cinematic adventures, because we had to get in the car and pile up just to get to the theater to have a good time. So, but D, I'll let you jump in.
Okay, we're talking about like movies back then, or like our, I guess, adventure. So one memory actually of myself when I was still in high school, I was doing summers. If you do like summers ed program in the summer, it's a free program through the school. And so my mom, I would catch a ride with my brother to the town that my high school was in, and I would stay there, do the driver's education thing for like the 2 hours. And then I had to wait till my brother was done work at the nearby resort. And that was like until 4, I think, in the afternoon. So I had a lot of time to like, fill my day. I'm telling a story. And so my high school was kind of close to a movie theater when you have a car. So I actually used to walk from on the highway. I know it's crazy, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe my wife used to do that. So I actually walked from the high school to this movie theater, and I would be like probably like one of the few in the theater watching whatever movie was playing. And I don't know, that was just like my own me time. And I don't know, I would probably like look like a geek or a nerd or whatever, but I'm like, this is so cool. Like nobody's here to ask me questions on what's happening in the movie. Like, what do I think of that when you're like, trying to focus on the movie? So that's like one of the memories I have of my cinematic adventures, if you want to call it that. Yeah, back when I was younger in my days.
Okay, so I think we can all relate because I was the same way. Like I used to make it a point to not go and watch movies with certain people, depending if I wanted to really just engulf myself in the movie and have me time. And so, like a lot of movies, like back when I didn't have a car, my mom used to drop me off, kind of where Dee's kind of describing now. And I used to walk around that town that Dee was walking around, and I made it a point to walk to the theater because there were 2 theaters in that town, so I could watch certain movies at certain times and then walk to the other theater to watch the next movie. And I used to do that a lot during my summers. Even with my cousins, like my cousins, they weren't really big movie buffs. So they would rather want to go surfing or the beach. Just like, oh yeah, go ahead. I'm going to go by myself and go watch a movie. And so I used to do all that stuff too. But I got other stories about movies as we kind of progress through this conversation. But let's go back to the collecting part, and then we'll really get into the movies part. But so it sounds like Bat Cowls got you in. I'm a big DC fan, and between Marvel and DC, I prefer DC specifically, as in the superhero genre. But because DC got you in, I'm assuming you were here since day one of mint of Bat Cowls. Am I right?
Yes, I was.
Okay,
Yes, I
okay.
was.
So you remember that night then we were trying to get into that silly website, and we had to queue in. And I remember, no, I'm sorry. It was the night that they launched the marketplace. We tried to queue in into Candy. It was Palm at the time. I'm sorry. But do you remember
Yes.
that night? I think
Yes,
we were
I
in,
did.
I was in a space, and I remember there was a bunch of people in it. Maybe Prez and Legacy was in it. And we're all doing the same thing. We're all like, how the hell are we getting in? And we're all trying to figure out how to break the system. Like, okay, if I open up all these windows, I can get into Candy, because we wanted to go and see what the market was doing. But I remember that. I've been in the project since day one. I've been kind of like just sitting in the background, kind of watching what they've been doing. And I love the fact that the community's been around forever. But are you more of like a Bat Cow DC fan, or do you kind of go in between?
I'm kind of like in like both directions, but primarily right now I'm kind of leaning more towards DC just because there's a lot more like physical stuff that they're coming out with.
Yeah.
And the community is definitely, they're there. The community's a lot more engaging, especially when it came to like the Bat Cow Legacy book that just came out that we all kind of as a community voted on. So that was kind of fun doing that.
Yeah.
Kind of while we were kind of in that little stagnant point with just collectibles in general. So.
And did you actually go and meet these guys at one of these events? And I asked that because we interviewed Legacy, I think 3 weeks ago, and we kind of asked him his experiences on the actual experience of holding a Bat Cowl. We're in Hawaii, so we can't really engage in those activities, unfortunately. But he said he had a great time. He got to meet a bunch of the community. They got to see a bunch of DC things behind the scenes. Were you able to be a part of that? And if so, how'd you like it?
Yes. Last year, I actually got a chance to go to San Diego Comic-Con and
Nice.
was just
Nice.
all over the Gaslamp district, just all over the place. I must have logged, I think, like 60,000 steps a day, if not.
Oh,
So I was
Fun
kind
stuff.
of just checking out, like just like Eventbrite, and kind of just seeing what was going on in the area. I noticed that there was this panel that Candy was doing, and it was just like just down the way. So I kind of walked, like I think like a mile, and I just kind of strutted along pretty quickly. And I think Caitlin Burns, the director of Story Awards, she was there, and her and Shay were there. So I was like, okay, well, I'll go there. I'll support them, see what they're going to talk about. It was really nice because like there was like maybe like less than 10 people in there, and like maybe 2 or 3 people that were new about Candy. So it was kind of nice and very like personal and
Exclusive.
Like,
exclusive.
I
Yeah.
freaking really loved it. Really exclusive. She thanked me coming out. I think I have a picture floating around somewhere out there on X. But it was just a good time, and that's kind of when, with that, and then like there's like I think like it was like Friday night or something. It was there's like a Bat Cow party in like the Penguin Lounge, and I got
Penguin Lounge.
There's a Penguin Lounge. What is
there's
that?
a Penguin Lounge, yes. And
Oh,
I
cool.
got so if you had the Bat Cow, you enter into to draw for like one of the tickets. So I got a
Okay.
ticket, and so my brother went my brother went with me. So that's where like I kind of met the rest of the community there. There was a couple of VV people there, but a lot of people with Candy. Kind of got to talk to the team, really get to kind of get exclusive time with them, and just really thank them, because really we don't see anybody on that side like we do with
Yeah.
VV.
Yeah. No, that's
That's-
really cool. Are you planning to go again this year? Because it's coming up soon. Next month is.
Yeah, I just got an
Comic-Con.
email from booking.com. I don't know, what's going on with them, man? They're being freaking going crazy. But I just got an
everyone's
email
got
basically
this email.
saying that they're going to be charging your cards here in 4 days, because apparently last year there was so much people getting rooms and they didn't end up going. So so they're going to be doing that. So I'm super excited. I just made sure everything's booked properly, made sure that everything's good to go. I'm excited.
That's awesome. So when you go out there, one of our affiliates, or not even affiliate, one of our partners will be out there. Biggest Bro,
Mhm.
he's going to be out there. I think he's also going to go to the McFarlane party. I don't know if you got invited to that.
No.
Oh shoot, yeah, I wish I could go too. But yeah, he's going to be at that one. So yeah, check him out. It's my understanding Shay's going to be out there too. I remember when we talked with her on Aloha Friday, she said she was going out there. So yeah, I really wish I could go. And I'm hoping next year I can. Originally, the whole plan was let's go to all of them this year, but you know how that
Right?
goes in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I
That's
know Dee
wishful
told you
thinking.
that maybe not both of us will be able to come to Vegas, but one of us. But we're gonna try.
Yeah.
But definitely gonna come back to Vegas, and I hope I get to go to a Comic-Con. I definitely want to try it out.
That's going to be awesome. It's just, I feel like this week hit really well. Just got New York Comic-Con tickets in, got the pre-sales, and then rooms booked for San Diego. And then San Diego, I think Bad should be here like next week or something.
So you're
Well,
going to both.
New York
So we're there,
too.
and then Decon November. So they plan it out very well. They do. So
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll get to see you in November then. That's going to be awesome right there.
it'll be awesome. Yeah, we're gonna have to do
Yeah.
something.
Well, so this is what I was telling Oz, because he's coming back. We should all watch a movie together. I would love to watch a movie together. And it goes back to, and I don't know if you're into that, but like it goes back to the cinematic adventures. And let me explain what I mean by that. For one, I actually remember the first movie I ever watched. I don't know if you can, but and I'll show. Well, actually, I want you to guess. I'm an '80s child, so the first movie I ever watched was in 1985, in a really old ass movie theater on the island of Kauai. And I mean this because I remember there was one PV speaker in the corner. I don't know if you know what one of them big concert speakers. That's it, and a bunch of rats crawling on the ground. I remember all this, right? But the movie that I watched was a Joe Dante film. That's the guy that made Gremlins, and no, it wasn't Gremlins. But can you guess what movie that was? And I'll pull it up for you.
Oh shoot, I can't even guess it. No.
It's an 80s movie, so it's in the lines of Goonies and Back to the Future and all that stuff, right? So and I don't know if it's a mainstream movie, but I thought it was. You probably never heard of it.
Probably haven't. There was a lot going on that time.
D, do you remember? Do you know what movie this was?
Oh my gosh. Was it The Explorers?
Wow, she got it.
There we go.
Okay, I was like, whoosh.
She got it. This was the very first movie I remember seeing in the theater, and I loved this movie just because of the fact it was three guys that built a spaceship. You ever seen this movie before?
No.
No? Oh man, no. Yeah. This movie is basically about three kids. In fact, one of them is Joaquin Phoenix. You see him right there. And essentially these three kids get a signal from space, from aliens, and these aliens pretty much tell them in their dreams how to build a spaceship. So that's what they do. They build this spaceship right here called the Thunder Road. And it was literally a tilt-a-wheel that they learned how to basically make into a spaceship. I think the tech was they had a force field around it that could let it levitate, and all they had to do was produce oxygen in there to fly around in this bubble. So they did that with this spaceship, and this is in fact, I'm still trying to find this collectible, by the way, but this is the Thunder Road, and this is from the very first movie that I watched. And I'm bringing this up because I think it was really this movie that really got me into loving fandom, loving movies, wanting to really get into comic books and just fantasy in general. I gotta put it to this movie because I don't think if I ever saw this movie, this would be the genre that I would want to be in. Who knows? Maybe it would be something else entirely. But this was my very first movie, and it will always be a memory for me, especially this spaceship right here. So, and that brought me into my journey of cinematic adventures growing up. I remember watching Back to the Future 1 and 2 in the theater with my friends. I remember fast forward watching Galaxy Quest in the theater with my friends. When the first movie that I watched with D was Talladega Nights. It was not really the best movie to take your first date, but
Wiki movie?
Yeah. But that was our first movie together. And then it got even better than that. So let me rewind back to when I was in high school. I was the only one who had a car. Every weekend, everyone would look to me to plan the weekend. I don't know why, but I was the guy that planned the weekend. So since I was a movie guy, we would go watch a movie, we go play some video games, and then we would go meet up with our friends. And we did that religiously for the entire senior year of my senior high school year. And I was a part of the newspaper, so I used to write all the movie reviews for everything. I wrote the movie review for Lost in Space, the remake for that, right, when it came out in the 90s. I think it had Heather Graham in it. I wrote the review for Deep Impact, Titanic, and all that stuff. So those are my journey for cinematic adventures. And then growing up, when we got older and then Dee met me, we used to go on cinematic adventures where we take an entire clan of people to the theater. I remember it was a bunch of us. It was maybe 8 of us to go watch Atlantis. It was a cartoon, right? Of the Disney. Yeah, we went out to, and I believe the theater was 3 hours away. And then we pulled over on the side of the road, and I remember we had dinner on the side of the road, and we were just talking story on the side of the road. Now, back in the 90s, you could do that here in Hawaii. Can't do that anymore. Where you could literally just park on the side of the road near the theater, put a bunch of lounge chairs, and just kick back over there. But I remember all this, and it was all because of cinematic adventures. I remember watching Ninja Turtles for the first time. I went surfing. I hurt my ear. I was supposed to go to the ER. I didn't go to the ER, Kristopher. I went to go watch Ninja Turtles because it was more important. So, yeah. Do you have a cinematic adventure you'd like to share with the audience?
Yeah, let me see. What do we got here?
Oh, there's a bucket involved with this too, maybe.
Well, there's gonna be a lot involved tonight. But this here, this is what did it for me, folks.
I got a solo layout right here,
dude.
Oh,
I like this here because it has has like a little letter and stuff. You know, there we go.
Oh,
That is so
wow.
Come on.
cool.
Come-
Did you? He didn't open it, D.
No, I have not opened it. And then right here, here's the letter from like
Oh
Western
my
Union.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
gosh.
So it's just that
That's so
movie did it
cool.
for me. Okay, I got it on
Yeah.
VHS, and like back in the day,
Yes.
I'm old enough. The small little TV with the VHS player, little mini.
Mhm.
I put that in there and just run that thing all day long. Part 1, 2, and 3, primarily 2, until the tape would just be destroyed. And now I'm trying to get one that Comics and Crypto has.
Oh, that's right. They have
Yeah.
the VHS.
Isn't that a thing, right? Because I still have all my old VHS tapes. I have a good conversation with Video Shane about this, but they're all kind of bust up. I think the only cassette tape that I have in the plastic is the entire Titanic Deluxe package. You know, like the big fat box where you see the ship on the front.
Yeah.
So that's still wrapped up in plastic. I guess I could get that graded.
Whoa.
But yeah.
You should totally get it graded. I have a couple other stuff here. I got this.
Yes, show us Shrek.
We got a little Shrek 2 action here. So
Oh,
this is,
look at
Nice.
that.
so I don't know. I was
Oh
thinking
my
about getting this
goodness.
graded, and then we have a little Men in Black there.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh,
look
I
at-
remember that movie.
Still in the plastic, D.
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know. I'm doing this VHS Bible, looking into that, and it's just having me go down a rabbit hole of VHS tapes.
Oh my goodness. Okay, real quick, I gotta blow you up. Look, D, he's like me. He's got a switch behind him. And a patch panel.
Oh my gosh, I do see that. Yes, on
You see
your
that?
to your left.
I'm
But
in
look at
communication.
his. He
So-
doesn't have noodles.
Stop
Oh my
it.
gosh, you guys are like,
Stop it.
oh my god. Okay, Christopher, if it wasn't for Hinano, every time now we go into like a restaurant, a business, the first thing I do is look up. And if it's an open ceiling, I'm like, Hinano, look how messy it looks up there.
You ever do
I'm
that?
like-
We're like, look how horrible that access point's hanging. It's all crooked.
I do the same thing, and it's like you get it, and then like I've seen like some things where you're like walking to go to the restroom, and like you accidentally see like a back door closet, and you see their whole network rack.
Yes. And then you're
rat's
critiquing
nest,
how
and you're
ugly
thinking,
it
like,
looks.
Oh. I'm like, I don't want to deal with that. I'm glad I don't have to deal with that.
Okay, so I gotta
Okay,
tell
it's
you a
not
funny
just
story.
us.
Wait, no, I gotta tell them a funny story because I'm in communications. I've been in communications for 2 decades, and so I literally was working at this high-end house. I can't tell you where because I had to sign an NDA. So that tells you who this person is. It's a very important person, but because these people have money, they don't need to go through the entire permitting process, right? So a lot of crazy things like shoving network cabinets right up against the electrical panels and closing it up, against code. Yeah, apparently, if you're not gonna get a save or a permit check, they don't care. So it's that type of installation I had to deal with. But what was so funny is I went to go put in a VoIP system yesterday. So another vendor put in the infrastructure. They put in some structured cabling. I didn't even think people did that anymore, but they're still doing the structured cabling. And so I went to go and plug in my PoE phones. I'm like, what the hell's going on? They're not lighting up. So I think I was like maybe 7 jacks in a row, not lighting up. And so finally I go and tell the project manager who installed the cables, like, yo, something's going on here. I'm not getting any PoE power. You might want to certify these cables. Or do you guys have a floor plan? Let me know what's going on. Oh, what floor plan? What do you mean no floor plan? There's no floor plan? Wait, you guys ran the cables and you didn't label end to end? No. Yeah, all they did was run the cables, lay and pray. And so they didn't even know where that location was. And I said, okay, well, go grab your certifier. Let's tone it. What's a toner? What do you mean, what's a toner? You know what I mean? So, and I'm sure the audience, like, what the hell are they talking about? But long story short, this was the best thing. The guy's like, no, I know what's wrong because they went to plug their computers in. That's how they're testing. Oh, I got a network connection. That's fine. That means there's probably a miswired jack here. I'm not getting power. Oh, it's the switch. It's not producing enough power. What do you mean it's not producing enough power? What are you talking about? Oh yeah, we're overdrawing the power. Well, how much PoE devices you got here? Oh, maybe like 20 devices. That's nothing. These phones take nothing. They thought my phones were eating up all the the power. I think my phones take like maybe 3 or 5 watts. That's it.
Yeah.
So needless to say, it wasn't the phones. And I said, okay. I went to go look at their switches. They had Cisco 250s. I'm like, just log into your management and let's see the power output. Well, how do you do that? What do you mean how you do that? You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh. And so finally they're like, oh, look, you guys have these power bricks. We'll just plug the phones in and that's it. I'm like, that doesn't fix the problem. You know what I mean? That doesn't fix the problem. We still need to figure out what's wrong with this cable, but I digress. Anyway, so I'm sure the audience was like this. What are they talking about? But I don't know if you go through that. I go through this constantly. And here's my last story, and you'll laugh at this. A few weeks back, I was told to go to a police station because their network was down. I don't do the network, but I provide the internet there in the phone system, so it's part of my problem. So I'm like, okay, before I drive out there, which is 3.5 hours away from where I'm at, can you go walk to the server and tell me if it's plugged in? It's plugged in. I'm like, okay, well, let's go there. In fact, I tell you what, can you FaceTime me and physically show me the plug? It's plugged in. Yeah. I don't know why you're telling me it's not plugged in. I'm like, okay. I drive out there. I go to the back of the server. Guess what? It's unplugged. And I'm like, and that person's gone already, right? When I get there. And I'm like, I literally asked this person, did someone unplug this? And I asked this question because they're so good at hitting the equipment and knocking the plug off. So,
Yeah.
and and you know your customers, right? If stuff like this happens. So, anyways, that's my TED talk when it comes to networking. What about you?
Oh yeah. I deal with that quite on a daily basis, man. I get it. I'm right there with you. But it's fun. It's fun helping out people and learning new stuff every day, and doing it, for in a corporate environment, and then also owning my business too. So working alongside the people in the community and around the country, United States, it's definitely a pleasure helping people, especially now.
It's a fun job. Like, don't get me wrong. I've been doing it for 2 decades, and I enjoy the networking aspect more than the telephony side of things. But
oh yeah, it's just a dream now. It's just so easy. It's just point, click, and click and configure, and you're good to go. As long as it's on the cloud, it's a dream. So.
Well, I got a food baby now, so I send the young bucks up into the attic. You know what I mean? Or down underneath the post and pier. But anyways, D, I'm Portuguese out over here. You want to add anything?
Well, no, I'm enjoying the conversation. Yeah, I used to, when I was in the field, because I was like one of the smaller people, I used to be the one to go in the attics and small spaces, or but yeah, it was fun because I'm mainly like the office person. So any chance, like they're like, oh yeah, we have a cable job. Like, yes, sign me up. Like, I don't care where it is, where I have to go, just sign me up. Like, get me out of this office. So yeah, I've seen and done some stuff out in the field, as much as these these guns will allow me. But yeah, it's been fun, like being able to help somebody and just kind of like troubleshoot what I know how to, and then just being out in the field with the guys. Yeah, take over because.
Sorry, guys. I don't know what happened there. I'm sure he's going to be just fine in about 1 minute. But yeah, our babysitter, we decided to give her the night off, which I shouldn't have done because she lied to me before we let her go. But I digress on that too. But anyways, yeah, no, I've been in communication for like 2 decades. So like when I saw that switch back there, either that or a server, I'm not sure what that is. Yeah,
switch up top, and then I actually have a whole separate rack down at the bottom. I got 2 servers in there, so
nice.
Running along. So
do you ever have that issue with the public utilities? Like a good example is over here we're kind of monopolized between Spectrum and this other public utility called Hawaiian Telecom, which I think is another company in the mainland, but they're the only 2 providers where you can get internet. And so my big issue with them is trying to troubleshoot, right? Because most of the time it's either a back end issue on their end or they're crappy modems. They use a lot of these modems that the Ethernet port goes bad on for whatever reason. And so one time I had the guy come to my house, right? And this was the time where I had no choice. They had to upgrade my my service because apparently my modem, I had like an SP40 surfboard, and it was just going out of date. Even though it was really reliable, I never had an issue. I have an Ubiquiti networking system here, so yeah. So they replaced it with some kind of like, I forget what it was, but right off the bat,
some crap.
some kind of crap. Everything stopped working as soon as the guy showed up. Like, well, everything kind of stopped working already, but nothing worked continually when he left. And I said, well, wait a minute, you left. Everything is still not working. Oh, well, something's wrong with your router. I'm like, wait a minute. Everything worked fine for like years until last night because you guys turned off the service because my modem's no longer good, and you guys decided to upgrade me today. And now you're saying my router's bad, right? I spent a whole day trying to convince them that they were wrong, to a point where I finally had to call someone from their company that was a manager here to tell them that I knew what I was talking about in order to get the tech to come back to replace the modem. He put a bad modem in, is basically what happened. So, yeah. So I run into those issues all the time here where I have to fight the public utility. Do you run into that issue too? Okay.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, we got a service here. We got a service here in Ohio. It's Alta Fiber, and they've actually, residential wise, business wise, they're great to work with. And then I actually have like two separate internets, so I actually have Starlink. So in the event that they go down, that fails over and goes to the ISP. But like my local ISP, I'm on their their main line because like their headquarters is just like literally like 10 miles away. So it's never been an issue. Now dealing with them having a new service or anything like that, you know how that goes.
It's a different story.
I've had fiber lines cut.
Shit.
I've had businesses that I was literally working at, like not even doing really much of anything, just basic troubleshooting, and their whole network goes down. And they're like, why is it down? I'm like,
what'd you do?
Yeah, that's so.
Yeah, I'm looking here. There's a service outage. It's not me. And they would call me back.
Can you fix it?
Yeah. And I'm like, I can't. It's not me. And then 3 days later, they're still calling me with issues.
That's because you were the last one physically there. That's why. It's your fault.
Oh man.
So
he can relate to every story I have here, D.
Yeah. And it's just so funny that, no matter where you are, you're going to relate to someone in that.
Somebody knows my pain. I mean, so I'm a happy-go-lucky technician. Everybody loves me. Anybody I do work for, they like me. And you kind of deal with these certain users that are quirky, and I'll leave it at that. But when you run into the issue with the public utility, where it's like right off the bat, you got a CSR that's just got a chip on their shoulder. They're reading their flow chart. They believe in the flow chart, even though that we all know the flow chart's not right because it doesn't fit every circumstance. It just gets very frustrating, and I've been in that situation too.
Oh yeah, definitely. I've been in their situation too. I've been the one on the other end having to dictate that call. It's not fun sometimes, especially when you're dealing with, a lot of, people with critical businesses that need their stuff working. So that's the beauty of it. One day it can be completely relaxed, and the next day, you're putting out a whole bunch of fires.
He's not kidding, guys. Wow, he is not joking.
It's not for the faint heart of people. A lot of people can't do it. You're dealing with a lot of people's problems, and you're dealing with a lot of babysitting. Whether it's on having to deal with users or clients, or just dealing with vendors. Trying to get parts and dealing with like system software issues and trying to get patching,
tech support,
and stuff. Just tech support in general. is
Tech
gone.
support in the same language that you can understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, no kidding. Now it's like all up in their mercy, like especially like Cisco, it's deal with like Meraki and stuff. It's you can only do so much, and then it's in their wheelhouse, and they're taking over your dashboard. I don't know.
And sometimes it's not even like your fault or anything that they can do. It's really something's just wrong with the device. The documentation says it can do this. It doesn't do it. And this is something maybe they need to they have to implement a patch. And I think the worst thing that happens is you're always the first one to have this issue, and then you scratch your head like, how can I be the only one having this issue? This happened with 2 brand new units. You know what I mean? This has got to be like, across the board, right? You can't have 2 bad switches in 2 brand new boxes. It's almost impossible. It could be possible, right? So, but
And then
yeah,
the hassle with you trying to RMA, and you're just like, I need this like yesterday. What are we gonna do here? I got 20 grand on the line here for a switch that needs to be up. So
yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. It's just like yesterday with the whole the modulation of power and stuff like that. And even some of these GUIs, they're hard to kind of like figure out. Like, I don't know if you ever dealt, like, unfortunately over here we sell the XBlue system. I can't stand that thing. I don't know if you ever dealt with the XBlue. I mean, at this rate, you can't have a turnkey VoIP system anymore. It's pretty much full enterprise, or you do SIP, or at least here. I haven't found key systems that do VoIP anymore. So that's the only one, and it's so horrible. You have to like literally download text files, and modify that database, and then upload the text file. And it's like, if you get the text file wrong, your whole entire overlay is screwed up. So, yeah. It's funny how you're still dealing with that kind of stuff in this day and age with AI.
Yeah, well, it's coming along. I don't know. There's some cool stuff going on with that. So,
yeah. But anyways, I think we're talking way too much shop to where people probably have no idea what we're talking about. But it's really cool to know that you do something similar. Just to kind of end this, I've been in the communication industry since 2000. I used to be a lineman, so I climbed poles. I climbed in sewers. I've been in every handhole and manhole you can think of. I've been on the side of the ocean when we used to bring in fiber onto land to do the splicing for that stuff. I've been at airports. I've worked with Homeland Security. I've been on telescopes. I've worked for celebrities. I've even been on a couple shows like The Apprentice. When he was here long ago, and then also what's that other one?
Roseanne Barr.
No.
On her podcast?
No. Yes, Roseanne Barr. So I was on the Donald Trump thing. I was on Roseanne Barr. Oh God, that was the worst, Kristopher. So Roseanne was my customer. Thank goodness was. I don't mind letting that one go. But at the time during COVID, she was really big on her podcasts, and so internet was big for her. And I remember when I went there, I had to set everything up. It was all like a temporary thing because she wanted cameras at a certain location in her house, and she wanted to film with the river behind it. So all of this was like temporary setup, and we set it all up, and they wanted to make sure the network was good. And I didn't know the cameras were rolling while they were doing this. And so all this time we're all like fidgeting, punching stuff down, and the whole world is watching us. And I still think that footage is out there. I think it's called the Nut Farm. So if you go and Google that, you might see me over there fiddling with stuff and wires, trying to get her podcast set up. It was back in like 2020, I think. So,
yeah, I'll take a look, see what I can find.
She was a very, very difficult customer, but she'd always paid on time. So,
I think that's the sacrifice, right? They pay on time, so you gotta just deal with
Yeah,
everything else.
You just gotta do it.
How dare you speak bad about the Queen of Lanford?
Shame.
Well, I'll tell you what, you meet her for the first time outside of the camera, you'll think twice. But she does pay good, and I wish our friend who's taken over her network for them. Bless you.
Yeah, all the best
Anyway.
to them. Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you guys have something similar that you can relate to. Dude.
Sorry about that. So
as I was saying, you guys can relate to each other. So I'm sure You might be getting messages now, Kristopher. When Hinano's in the field. Oh my gosh, blah blah blah. This customer of mine, and you'll be like, brother, I feel your pain.
Yeah, I feel your pain. I will take those, and I'll be there.
It's
Vice
a
versa.
it's a rarity to find someone that really knows what you go through in your day in your work, right? And so if you see anybody with a switch or a server behind them, you know they know. You know what I mean? So I mean, I got freaking carpal just from my punch tool for all these years. So
Oh man, but yeah, they have a new tool now. You just cinch it down and it crimps it and everything already. Punch downs.
right on the punch down, was it like a trigger lock or
It's a
something
little
on it?
trigger. It's a little handle. It's called the Signamax.
I'm gonna
And
write
you
that
literally
down.
punch it
Sigma
down
Max.
in there, and you punch in the keystone, and the keystone just goes straight in this little panel, this rack back here. So literally
Is
just goes in right here, so you don't have to punch it down.
Sigma
Yeah,
Oh,
Max.
he's looking on Amazon right
No, no, no,
now.
no. I want to
save
take
me
a
so
look.
Oh,
much time.
I've well, yeah, because like I used to do the 5 pair punch, one of those old ones. But you know how after a while that freaking just gets monotonous,
Oh, it
right?
gets old.
Yeah. So, but anyways, guys, we're talking shop here. Apparently, Kristopher and I have relations in our trade, so that's really cool.
but so Fro and Bro Productions, they're watching us right now, and Fro took a picture in AR of us, and Batman is right there with us.
Did he?
Yeah, I'm trying to send it so we can pull it up, but I had to crop a little bit so it doesn't like show some personal stuff. I'll show it after. But yeah, so going back to movies and fandom and all that good stuff. I was curious because you said you've been to or you're gonna go to the New York Comic Con event this year as well. Did you go to the other one they had like previous? Was it 2 or 3 years ago where
Yes,
they got? You went to that one too?
yes, I did. Yes,
Oh, okay.
I
So
went,
how was that experience?
it was great. I enjoyed meeting everyone. It was really fun meeting David Yu. It was just really genuine guy. Just had a good time there. Um, Really, I was in a great location where I was staying. I was maybe like 4 or 5 blocks from the Javits Center. So
Oh,
getting in
okay.
and out was just a breeze for me. When I wanted to go and run around for a couple hours, I go do that and just kind of go and circle back. No, it was great. I got to meet everyone. I got to meet MC, a lot of other people in the community. It was a great time.
Yeah, that was another thing like Hinano was mentioning that we wanted to try and hit up every event this year that we could, at least in the US. But just like, I mean, it's already June, like middle of June, and like, oh my gosh, there's like not enough time. And the thing with I think San Diego Comic Con is they they have like a what do you call it? Like a time limit, right? Or you like so much time in advance that you have to like get your tickets right away, or it's like completely sold out. I think we were talking to a Tem, and because he goes to the New York Comic Con one, and he was like, I think we were talking to him last year around the time of Vegas, and he was already saying that the tickets to buy for San Diego was like you need to get on it now. I'm like, what? It's like not even the end of the year, and people are going crazy already just getting that. So, um, yeah, one day we will make it to New York. But the other event that happened, I believe, in New York, because what Legacy was telling us when we had him on was they had like that for the Bat Cow holders, the premiere of what was the movie? Black Adam, and they got to like certain people got to go and have that fan experience and meet some celebrities and the people behind the project. So, were you also at that event as well? Did
No,
you
I
get
would
to
have
attend?
loved to have been there. That would have been a fun time. No, but I heard it was
Yeah,
great. It was great.
yeah. He was telling us like all the experiences that they had like lined up for the bat cow holders. And I think they also had another thing in London where you get to something about, I forgot exactly what it was, but to like have dinner with someone. I think correct me if I'm wrong. Prez is watching. You can correct me if I'm wrong, Prez. But yeah, one day we're gonna make use of our back calls and go to these meetups. So I hope like you guys are gonna have.
What do
well,
you
I know
mean? We're gonna run around a Futureverse with our bat cows. Heck yeah,
well,
let's
that
go.
too. Yes, that too. Oh, Park Row, free cocktails. Haha. Yes, that one. So a lot of utility that came with the bat calls and the holders that we actually didn't take advantage of. Like Hinano said, he's been in the community since mint day, but we just never like got really involved with it. We are more like on as listeners in like spaces and just doing
Well,
our thing.
Can
But
I reiterate? I've been
yeah,
in the project, but I have not been involved in the community till now. And so
yeah,
now, and I really want to be clear on that. Like now, we're getting to know the community better, and that's good because D and I we love to network with people. But I was in the project since day one, but now we're getting to know the community a little bit better,
yeah.
and that's good.
hmm And
Same.
yeah,
Yeah. It is good. It is good to get out, and like I said, I've seen a lot more people going. Some events I'm not able to make it to. Decon I was able to go to last year, so I have noticed there are like more people coming out of the woodworks to make it out. It's
yeah,
good to see it.
yeah. And it's good to like put like faces to the voices that we hear in spaces. And I think it's just at least from my experience, it's like a different level when you actually meet the people that you conversate every day with, like in real life, and you can like physically hug them and actually talk to them one on one. And most of the time they're exactly who they are in real life with how they portray themselves online, I guess you can say. um yeah, so that's a goal of ours, is to be able to make it out more to these in real life events, talk to people, and even like the people we don't talk with daily. They come to an event and you just click with them, and from there you make other connections as well, and you just get to like know people more. So even though we met briefly last year in person and didn't get to talk, well, we're doing it now online. We're still face to face. And then, yeah, the next time we see each other in person, it'll be just a continuation of our conversation on screen, transition to in real life. I don't know. That's just my take on stuff like that.
Yeah, I got a
Wait.
question for you, Christopher. In line to what Dee's saying, you got a memory of like maybe a meetup with the community, specifically Bat Cows or any community. You got like something that any kind of memory that kind of stuck out to you that you really enjoyed while being in this community?
I'd say it would have had been last year at San Diego. When we were all sitting there getting ready in the movie theater, getting ready to watch Deadpool and Wolverine. Yeah, that was just the best surreal moment. Everybody was just it's so excited. We were all exhausted. Everybody just went
You
out
were walking a
exhausted.
lot. You said.
Yeah, we were walking a lot. I think I had some merch with me.
Oh, gosh.
I got. Let me just.
Oh, he's got stuff to show.
I should show him what Fro was lugging around for us.
So like
Oh.
this,
Oh,
I was lugging this thing
Whoa.
around. Right?
Hold on, let me blow that up. That looks rad.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
So I was lugging this thing around, right?
Yeah.
Lugging that thing around, 3 of them, in
3
bags. And if anybody's going to San Diego, and I've noticed this, I wasn't there at New York Comic Con last year. Anybody go? Did you guys go?
I didn't go. No.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
A couple
I
of
just was-
our mutual
We've
friends
never been in
went.
New York.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they went to New York.
I was just gonna say because I know that the AMC movie theaters, they were at San Diego, and then I
Okay.
think they were at New York too, and that kind of surprised everybody too. And I don't know, maybe I'll just kind of get into this right now.
Yeah.
That company, right? I don't think a lot of people were paying attention when they were. Maybe the people who were there at preview night in San Diego were like, "What the hell is a movie theater company doing here?"
Mm.
Okay. Just wanted to let you guys know that was my single idea, right? That got out to them. And I was like, you guys, because I went to New York the year prior, back in what 2023. I'm like, you guys need to go into it. You guys, this is an untapped potential. Okay. Well, and then all of a sudden they showed up in San Diego. I had a couple buckets there. I had to fight for them. I literally had to fight for some buckets, man. Those Californians are ruthless. Man. They're ruthless. I'm one of them, but
Give me my
they're still
buckets.
ruthless.
Your elbow.
So, but anybody who's going to San Diego, because I know at that time, I think Fantastic Four movie will be out during that time.
Mhm.
Superman.
So I know
And
that
Superman.
if you're going to be there, that's going to be a nightmare. Here's why.
Ooh.
Was that the gargantuan bucket? Is that the one that everyone's trying to get their hands on right now for like $79.99?
Is that the Galactus head?
The
Oh.
Galactus, yes, Galactus. My bad, sorry, my Galactus. The Galactus bucket. So during that time, I know at least down there, it's gonna be crazy. You're gonna have everybody trying to go for that.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna see if I can get a few.
You know what's so funny? Over here, people don't go for that stuff, but we have a theater where we can buy it up all and nobody's gonna buy it. Like there's one theater and all the way on the south side of this island, they sell all this stuff. And I always tell D, should we buy it? In fact, the last thing I wanted to buy was the Book of the Dead from Beetlejuice, but you wouldn't let me buy it. So
Wow.
but yeah, we pretty much can get any of those here now if we go to a specific movie theater.
Sure. Oh yeah. And any of them will have. I think the Galactus bucket, I think that's primarily exclusive only to AMC. I think this time, I know sometimes they try to do the buckets same across the board, but I know that they're going to be doing that just for AMC. I like that myself because I know sometimes I have a theater here, they'll hold two for me. It doesn't matter what it is, they'll hold it two just in case I'm going around, because I do fly to multiple states too to go see movies, just to see a movie and fly back.
Wait, so your local theater knows you're such a regular that they hold two for you each time one comes out?
I literally just call in and
Wow.
say, hey, can you guys hold this for me? Because I'm not going to be here. I'll be in LA for a world premiere of a movie. I can't make it. Okay. So
Wow,
I'll
that's
just jet
awesome.
out there. I'll go out there, get that done, and just come back. But regardless, like these buckets are hot now. I don't even know. I've probably had every bucket, I think, for the past 3 or 4 years. At least two of each. I know there's the D20 bucket right here. That's still a sought after one even today. I remember I sold one on eBay for a good penny back when they were pretty popular. This is crazy. It's crazy.
Dude, okay. Because I know the Galactus one I just looked is on eBay. It's going for $135.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, okay. So you've been collecting these for the past, you said 3 years. Okay. So where are you storing all your buckets?
If you look right here, so if you see these right here, these are the first buckets that AMC actually produced. They were the Thor buckets for the Thor Love of Thunder.
Whoa.
So I actually purchased 40 of them.
Whoa!
Oh my gosh.
Before they limited you on the website, right?
Whoa!
So they limited you on the website. They limited you in the concession at going to the theater to like 2. Because I was going through. There's buckets to where I have so many I don't even know. I just went in and said, give me the whole stack, guys.
Oh my gosh.
And then if you go back and then, I don't even have an eBay presence, really. But if I did, I don't know. I could get a lot
dude.
I get a lot of comments.
You can make bucks on your buckets.
I salute, man. Dang.
But the hot one right now, which I am actually looking to get right now, is the Lilo and Stitch bucket. I know that nobody can find it. It's ridiculous.
Oh yeah, because that movie's no, it's out already. Is it out?
Yeah, Lilo and Stitch. Yeah, it's out. Yeah, it's been out for about a month or so.
Month a month. Oh gosh.
It was
We
great.
should, yeah, we should. I think we should. We're gonna go plan to take
We're trying to.
our daughter. Yeah, with him is yeah, he can be a bit.
Should be streaming here shortly here too. So
Yeah.
Oh,
But
already?
that's something that I wouldn't mind seeing in the theater. That would be something cool to watch.
Yeah.
Like so, like kind of rewind. Like you said that you were the only one in COVID watching movies. So are we, because nobody would go watch it, and so we have this cinema where it's very luxurious, and they had was it like $5 movies, and they
yeah.
aired all the old movies, and it was Back to the Future's
Back to the
anniversary.
Future.
So
Yeah.
we took my daughter to watch Back to the Future for the first time in the theater, and I
Mhm.
never saw that. No, I did see that one in the theater. Did I? No, I saw number 2 and 3 in the theater. I'm sorry. Yeah. But my daughter never saw it, and it was just really cool to watch it in the theater. And
Yeah.
even though we own it, and we probably watched it like the week before we saw it in the theater,
Mhm.
it was like brand new to us. Like this was just so cool. Like my daughter was like, when you like move your feet because you're so excited, right? She was moving her feet throughout the whole movie, eating her popcorn, because when you're a dad, you program your kids to like all the stuff you like, right? And so like when she was young, she had like a stuffed DeLorean, and I'm a big Back to the Future fan. You can find a DeLorean in my house anywhere you go.
Yes.
It's
Let's
everywhere,
go.
man. Everywhere. So but that was my daughter's first car. I had a plushy DeLorean. And
Oh,
she
that's
still
right.
has that plushy DeLorean till this day.
Mhm.
So,
She does.
so
Yeah, I think like to experience, and depending, I guess, on the movie, just to experience it like on the big screen. Oh yeah, he's got a collection of DeLoreans.
So like it.
So just to see like a movie on the big screen is like a whole different experience. We got the surround sound. Everything is just like intensified, like even more. And so I think that's what makes the experience like even better. And when you go with like certain people that you bring that have like the same passion as you, like it makes it even more like, I guess, magical in a way, because they're you got people to share that experience with. But like speaking of movies, I want to know what your, I guess, all-time favorite movie is, if you have one. I know you probably have like a lot.
Sure, I've
But
got a lot, but I get this asked a lot. Number one has to be the Back to the Future trilogy, by far, hands down.
Mhm.
Second
that's
one,
one whole movie.
yeah. Second one has to be Interstellar with Christopher Nolan, Matthew McConaughey.
Oh.
That's up there on my list. Okay. And then I think third would have to be, I'd say, The Martian. So,
The Martian. Have you watched
Martian.
Have you
Yes,
watched
that's the one with what's his face? Matthew McConaughey?
Not
Not Matthew McConaughey. I'm sorry, not Matthew McConaughey. Matt
Damon.
Matt Damon.
Yeah, Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
he was on
Got it,
Mars.
okay.
He was stuck on Mars. Yeah, that was a good one.
That was good.
But yeah, I mean, to speak to to what you were saying in the movies for COVID, yeah. I mean, you had a luxurious theater. You went and saw
Yeah.
movies. It was your daughter's first time seeing, Back to the Future. That was the same for me. Like they were showing the anniversary. I'm like, I'm gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
All the AMC's, I think, at that time that I was recording were actually going through their HVAC systems and putting in HEPA filters. And I could tell the difference because, like, I've always had HEPA filters, I think, for the past decade. So I know what the difference is. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I can tell the difference. I'm like, there's nobody in the theater. Great. And now we get HEPA filters. I'm like, okay.
Put your feet up and start.
Yeah.
So it was nice. It was nice to like yell in the movies and be like, what are you doing? Like, go somewhere else. Like watching a horror movie. Just, you throw popcorn or something, I pick it up because they know it's you. Because you're the only one in there.
Oh, yeah. There's no one else to me.
Hey, you were here like yesterday. Yeah, you got to pick it up next time.
Yeah, like,
This is
no,
your
it's
first warning.
That dude in front of me, he left early.
Yeah.
So no, it's definitely been a fun ride. And even more so, like, not even that, it's like just being in cinema in the whole. I've worked at two movie theaters, two luxury movie theaters back when I was like 18.
Oh wow.
One when I was 18 for about like 3 years. And then I kind of went to California, kind of did a couple things. And then I actually loved that theater so much, I actually came back and worked for them a second time.
That's
wow.
cool.
So that was a good time. But no, it's just being overall ingrained within the community, and even like in LA, there's like a whole bunch of communities that are just like for like just for everyone to come together as a community and have like no more hate and just come together in a community sense. And movies are ingrained in a lot of what we do, of course.
Yeah.
But it is nice just to be on board, having like a lot of these companies that fight the good fight in the back end that nobody else sees, and me being recognized for that, for having a voice for what's going on right now. Because there's a lot of stuff that's not going on, that's not right now.
Yeah.
It's going to get fixed. So it's just fun to fight the good fight and watching movies. And
Yeah.
seeing a whole bunch of celebrities too. So like when I go to these Comic Cons too,
Mhm.
right, I do step off to the side too and go see a couple of people, off to the side. So that is kind of nice. Maybe lesser known people, especially the directors, but it's
Yeah.
good to get to know some of those directors and stuff when you're going to those panels and stuff. That's another thing. Like I love these cons. So these panels are just amazing.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of like like certain executive producers, like Ronald D. Moore, Terry Matalas, the voices, the unsung heroes that really make the show or the movie palpable, right?
Sure. And and if you don't ever even if you would like to watch the end credits, right? See who like the grip boy is for like these camera people.
I do that.
See who's like the IT supervisor. Go find him on social media. Go give him a shout out. Like that takes a lot of effort to do, and I can tell you, like half the time they don't even care. Like they're like, you say like, "Hey, I watched this movie. Like I saw like you were in here. Good job." Like they love that, most of the time, and they're just surprised that somebody even cares.
Yeah.
Yeah, my friend sorry, D, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I know where you're getting at with the grip. Go ahead.
Yeah. So my friend was a grip for the TV show Lost, and I actually got to go to a rap party for Lost back. I think it was season 2, the one with the hatch. And so we went to. It was like a flotilla where we're on like a party boat, and I got to party with the whole cast. And my favorite actor that I enjoyed to talk story with was Terry O'Quinn, Locke. Like that actor is just hands down just I call him a chef's kiss. He's just a really he's a gentleman. He's super easy to talk to. He was very professional. The rest of the other ones were kind of like party and have fun, and that's cool. It was a rap party. They deserve to have party and have fun. Do a lot of good stuff. But that was just a really cool experience for me to like meet the cast and get to celebrate my friend's work, because if you go and watch Lost, the hatch, the computer, all those things, he helped build. All the explosions, he helped ignite. And so it was a beautiful thing. Rest in soul to my friend. He's no longer here, but I remember having a good time, and I got to party with the cast of Lost for season 2 one time. So that was fun.
Yeah, so going back on that, so either last year or the year before, I was checking out the New York Comic Con website, and there was like a whole list of actors that would be there. And I was like, oh my gosh, if we got to go, I would meet I think what's his name? Alessandro. He plays Gata in Battlestar Galactica. I don't know if you're familiar with him. I forget his full name. But I'm like, oh my gosh, she's gonna be there. And like a few other actors So I was like, if we did go to that con in New York, I would have searched them out to like just talk to them, and because we love Battlestar Galactica, the TV series, very nostalgic for us. When we first got together, that was like our show to watch on Fridays. And
I
so
turned
like
her into I turned her into a sci-fi nerd, and she never could go back.
no. um but yes, I saw them on the panel. I'm like, oh, that would be so great to one day like actually meet them and um just I don't know, to be like in their presence. I'm sure for them it's like, I'm just a normal person kind of thing, but when you're like such a big fan and you meet these actors that portray like a character that you started off with in the beginning of the show to like the very final episode, it's like I don't know, they become like a part of your, I guess, fandom. I don't know how to say it, but just to meet them, I think that's like on my bucket list of people to see, like people from shows that I really enjoy, and just to like chat with them and say thank you for being a wonderful actor. I don't know if my feedback to you is like do you care at all, but just for you being such a great person and acting out this character is like phenomenal. So that's just kind of like what I would want to do the next time that I'm able to have the chance to go to these events. And yeah, so that's on my bucket list. I don't know of things I want to do. Do you have like that same feeling as well, Christopher? Or like, because I know you said you try to go and meet directors or like people more behind the scene. Do you have like any other like wishes or like goals that you try to do each event that you go to, whether it's Comic Con or like designer cons?
Yeah. Just kind of like just like say more gauging more within that space. There's just so much that is ingrained to it, just like from like even even down to the camera equipment.
Mm-hmm.
I know last year or this last year I was going to go to CinemaCon in Vegas there at Caesars, but I got held up. But I want to go next year. I think me and a couple other people we're going to plan on going next year. But it's getting in touch with all the different projector companies and seeing like what's the new company that's creating the new technologies out there that's gonna enhance cinema for the next decade. It's just there's a lot out there that
Yeah.
that people don't realize, and it's really
Yeah.
fascinating. So yeah, I feel like I said, like the same way, just trying to get out and recognizing those smaller people's those smaller production companies. Like Blumhouse wasn't on anybody's radar for the longest time. A24 was not even on anybody's radar. It's just kind of written off as just kind of just like one of those other mediocre companies. Now is actually getting some really good high quality titles and getting the recognition that like they have probably deserved for a long time. I know the IFC, the Independent Film Channel, they just came out with like a couple of new movies that just came out, and they blew me away. I was like, this isn't this B film that I remember watching on TV back in the day. Sitting here watching it in a movie theater, and it's quite the experience.
So when you mentioned A24, I don't know if I'm familiar with that. Like, so what do they like put out, or are you familiar with that, Hinano? Have you heard of A24?
Yeah, so they put out like rom-coms, kind of
Oh,
like
okay.
those thrillers. Yeah, so they kind of throw out those kind of movies. I like them. I've always kind of liked those kind of movies.
Yeah. I like rom-coms. Like I mainly watch it like by myself because Hinano's like, okay, let's watch something else, and I don't want to be like boring him with like a movie.
I watched Valentine's Day with you in the theater.
That was the great one, and I was just like, he's actually watching this with me. So yeah, I mean that's really cool. I like those kind of movies.
Yeah, and like I think they made like Uncut Gems I think Everywhere at Once was another one. They did a couple other stuff with like Netflix and stuff, so they've definitely ingrained themselves a lot more. It's just nice to see.
So I got a
I
question.
gotta check that
Sure.
out.
Since we're kind of talking about say production companies, maybe some people didn't know before and now they do. Is there a specific movie that you like that's not very famous or not very well known, or maybe didn't do well in the box office? And let me frame this question. So one of my favorite movies that not a lot of people like to watch, at least in my opinion, is a what's this guy's name? M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Oh,
And there were M. Night Shyamalan movies people didn't like. What's the one with the trees? Wasn't a fan of the one with the trees. But right? So yeah, where the trees were like turning against you or something like that, or they're taking away the oxygen, something like that. But but anyways, my favorite movie that I don't think gets a lot of love was Lady in the Water. Have you ever seen that?
Lady in the Water. What was that one?
Lady in the Water is one where there was a girl named Story that was in the pool of an apartment building, and she's actually from the land of the sea, and she was there to try to find a specific individual to inspire this individual to do great in the world. And so this has to do with fables and legends and stuff like that. And so not a lot of people like this movie because it really had to do with like a story time legend, where basically she was a nymph that came from the underworld, undersea, to try to find a specific person to inspire them. So one day this person could like save the human race. So it was a really cool movie. And what I liked about that movie is everyone had a part in it. And there was some mysticism in the movie, but I just really enjoy Paul Giamatti. I think he's a really good actor, as well as Bryce Dallas Howard, and she played the nymph. And so that was a really good movie. M. Night Shyamalan was in here. He was actually the guy that they had to inspire to do better. And I don't want to spoil it if you ever decide to watch the movie, but yeah, Lady in the Water was still one of my favorite films from that guy. That and then Unbreakable. It's still till this day, I still think that Mr. Glass is a very, very underrated villain.
Villain, eh? So in that case, like, which for you, Kristopher, is one of those movies for you? Like what Hinano was saying, like you enjoyed it, but it didn't like get as, I guess, popularized as maybe it could have been, and people didn't really know about it. So what's that movie for you?
I would have to say Gran Turismo. I feel like people were looking. I think they were getting like that Need for Speed vibe with Aaron Paul, and so they were completely turned off by it. I loved it because Gran Turismo was just our time. It was probably your guys' time there. Everybody knows Gran Turismo.
Heck yeah,
So
my favorite
the
games.
story was just nailed on, and I'm like, this movie is great. Like they couldn't have done anything better, and just people were just like, meh, let's give it like maybe like 6.5, 7 star. Like, what are you talking about? Based on a true story, the kid freaking won. I'm like,
it had good actors. There were good actors.
Yeah, great actors.
We had David Harbour, who was the guy from Pirates of the Caribbean. He was in it too. It was good. I enjoyed that movie. I think we watched it on Netflix too.
Oh, I watched it. I watched it in Dolby and just
I believe you, man.
And I was like locked dead center in the theater. It was just whooshing. Like I loved it. I watched that movie like I think 4 times in Dolby because of just the sound follies in it. And it didn't get the love I felt like it deserved.
Yeah,
there's a lot of films like that. Another film that's like that for me besides Lady in the Water is John Carter. You ever watched John Carter?
That's a good movie.
That was a really good movie that was not advertised well at all. And I think that was the downfall, amongst other things with movies that are downfalls, depending if I guess management gets involved and the creative process gets kind of like, pushed to the side for explosions and CGI. So, yeah. But I remember that was a good one too. And I really because I used to read The Princess of Mars growing up. People don't realize that that's kind of like the blueprint for Star Wars. Here, you got to take over.
Yeah. Like for me, I can't think of the movie that I watched and it didn't really get as popular as I thought it would. I'll probably think about it after the show is done. Then I'll probably DM. Oh yeah, do you remember this movie, Kristopher? But one movie that I was really hyped for, and there was a group of us that wanted to watch it, and I think we all got together this one weekend, and a couple of our friends actually flew from another island to like hang out with us, and we went to another town that's the one that's like a few hours away. We went to the mall where they had this theater, and it was all sold out after we got our tickets. And so the only seats available was the very front row seat on the very left side, where you can't really see shit because you're like this. And that movie sucked, in my opinion. And it's what do you call the one with Will Smith? Hinata knows what I'm talking about. Is it I Am Legend or Legend?
Yeah,
I Am Legend.
I'm just like, oh my gosh.
Hey. I will say that opening scene though, where he's driving that Mustang. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
the movie was good, but watching it very close, like I don't need to see Will Smith's pores.
It was like a slow drag for me. So I'm like, and I'm just here, like I have cranks in my neck, and I'm just like, we were like in the movie because that's how close we were, and I'm just like, man, I'm at least I'm hanging out with my friends, but sheesh, like I could have just done without this whole event. So like, have you ever had like an experience like that too, where it was like a worse experience for you? I want to say you don't, but I don't know. You might surprise me.
No, I mean, I usually get the best seat in the house, even if I don't. Most theaters designed here, are designed in a way to where there's really no bad seat.
Lucky.
I know, and when I go out to LA, they don't have stadium seating; it's all one level. Most of the theaters there, and I like that because that means that they can put heated seats in because it's not so hard to wire them up. So I'll go there and do the heated seats. If it's all one level, that's good with me. But yeah, no bad experience, especially when I move around the country. I think one time I went to Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Kansas City and went to actually headquarters for AMC and went out there. Walked into, they have like a little test theater right down the street from headquarters that they have all like their promo stuff going. I walk in there with like my IMAX hoodie on, and they're like, "Hello, Mr. IMAX. Like, are you here to service the projector?" And I'm like, "Why, yes, I am."
Yeah.
So like, pop open the door, and I just like go up the stairs, and I'm like, "Oh, cool. This is awesome. This is awesome." And apparently, they were like servicing. They're apparently servicing the projector that day. So like. The company AMC gave like IMAX like a whole big huge like catered table of food and everything for all like the service people, because there were like 4 projectors they had to work on in a whole day. And so I'm just like going, I'm like, oh, what's this? So I like got like like a little sandwich, and then I took a picture. It should be on my X somewhere, but no bad seat ever. So I do try to find the best locations though. Wherever I'm going. I think next weekend, I'm going out to Miami. Okay. So I want to go. I think there's like a sunset place or sunset something for the theater down there. It has like a big huge neon sign, and I was going to go out down there just for the neon sign.
Oh, wow. Oh, so this is a place you've never been to.
Yeah, never been to. I try to visit a different location every time. So.
Wow. Oh, so that would be really cool to like have the map, and you like put a star or like a popcorn bucket.
Oh, I have a map.
Where's Kristopher next?
You have a map? Oh my gosh.
Yes,
so cool.
I got a map, and it actually shows all my flight logs. Shows how much fuel's been burned. Flight logs have jumped.
You're joking. Come on. Really?
No.
Really?
I have to thank one of my friends. He's in another community
Wow.
on one of my Discords. And he logs everything. He logs movies, and he logs flight time, and he also tracks flights because I let him know where I'm going so he can track me. But yeah, it's a lot. I'd say it's within the tens of thousands of hours, and that's within the last 3 years, right? Let me remind you, this is only one aspect of what I do. But I'm not
In terms of your vices. In terms of your vices.
Yes. So
Jeez, that's so cool. That's gotta take a lot of, yeah. I mean, you've done it for 3 years now, so you probably have a routine that it's easier for you to do that. But to have your own map and you log all those things, that's like extra detail to like your collecting experience.
It's a cool story too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, to be able to show that and like say where you've been, all these places, and you have like the popcorn buckets for each place you've been to. Dude,
yeah,
that's
definitely
so awesome.
a story is logged up, and I like to thank AI because it's actually helped me create a story to where I actually can put it into like just writing form and actually make it into a script and make a movie out of it. That was actually my plan to do that, and have that whole thing included. So it's a lot, yeah.
Let's talk about that because, like, for me, my biggest thing, because we're movie buffs, is always wanting to make my own movie or show or something of that sort. That's kind of why we kind of dive into AI. And so, like, and I love that. And like, I used to write stories when I was a kid and I stopped. And so having AI, it's been just a blessing because I don't like to type the stuff out, but I do like to talk about it. So to kind of have like an outlet to where I can just tell the AI what I would like, how I would like the story to be, and then grammatically make it look and sound better than how I would type it. It's beautiful. And so how we did, because we have 3 IPs that we're designing for the channel, and how we did this was I wrote a story because this is how I work. Whenever I try to make something, I have to have a who, what, where, when, why. I got to know what's happening. And so I go through a process of developing characters, developing a scene, developing the environment, developing a story. And then I take that and then we run with it. And so like tonight, Lost Tides, I have 20 chapters I've written. You're going to watch after chapter 11 what's happening. And so how I did this is when I made the movie, I wanted to make it like Star Wars, where you're in the thick of it already. You don't have an origin story. You don't meet the crew for the first time. You're in it. And so that's what you're going to be watching is you're literally, and people will be able to read this because we're going to try to do a read on Get to the Comics, where you guys get to hear chapters 1 through 10. And then I have the movie that you can watch on what happens between 10 through 20. And so that's kind of how this plays out with the movie you're going to watch tonight. But before the movie was made, I had to write the script. I had to write the characters. I had to flesh out the characters. Everybody you see in that movie is a character, has a purpose, and it's so much fun to do this. I love the fact that now, as creatives, as people that are fans, we can make our own stuff. Just like you said, you've written out a format for a script. You can produce whatever movie, however you want to title it, and it's yours. And it's a beautiful thing. What do you think about that, Kristopher?
I think studios should be afraid. I think people should be afraid for their jobs right now. That's not putting it lightly. It's just being real.
Yeah.
It's going to be a double-edged sword, just like it has been for the last 3 decades with the internet. You're going to see a lot of jobs. That are, people are going to get laid off, but then you're also going to see a lot of people that are going to be able to create things, right?
Yeah.
Because right now, and I'm personally dealing with it, is just like with loved ones, content, right? Shit, we've only been online with cell phones a little over than a decade, and I'm having trouble trying to wrangle all the data. So it just takes an idea and a weight of a mind, and now that we have a little bit of AI to come up with an idea to maybe get something like that solved for people, because it'd be nice to have someone's life formulated up in their own little personal movie, right? That was studio quality, right? So
Mhm.
Yeah. And to kind of touch on what you're talking about, AI coming to replace your jobs, that's happening right now. People are getting digitally twinned.
Mhm.
A lot of people, and that's from whatever data sets they're getting this from, but a lot of the big large companies, they want to monetize or monopolize your mind share, and so they take that. And I have a bunch of friends that got laid off because of this, and you're right, 100%. And I'm not trying to say that my pleasure in making movies is a displeasure for someone else's job. I'm just kind of acknowledging that you're 100% right. It is happening. I do see that more people are going to get laid off. It's happening here in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Um, and I've seen already AI agents take jobs of dispatch, take jobs at a restaurant now. When you're at a restaurant now, you don't deal with somebody, you deal with a pad, and
Mhm.
then someone just walks your food up there. And I see that happening,
Yeah.
and you're 100% right. So, but there's also that half and half where it's like, okay, you can also now create. There's a creator economy. You can utilize AI to, like, instead of having AI replace you, you hybridize what you do with it. And that's what I try to do is I use a hybridized approach with AI. I mean, obviously, if you're a plumber or an electrician, I think you're okay. Until the
For now.
bots come and get us, right? Until we have a
Yeah.
Tesla bot come. But yeah,
Mhm.
if you're a plumber, you can charge whatever you want. But like the accountant, or the data entry person, right? It's
Yeah.
going to get replaced by an AI, and so like you kind of got to roll with the punches with that. At least I don't know. What do you think about
Mhm.
that?
No, I agree. AI can essentially make or break somebody, so to speak. But it is a great tool to use to improve your life, or even like the work that you're doing. I know it's the AI I've been using has been helping me, and um, in certain aspects of my business life and personal life, like when I need help breaking something down that I'm just like my eyes are getting crossed over reading and trying to understand. I input that in. I'm like, please break it down for me, in a simplified way, and it does. Like, it literally breaks it down. So for me, I use that technology to help myself understand things a little bit more, and even like get ideas, or like improve my ideas of things I want to do in certain aspects of my life. And it gives me ideas. I'm like, oh wow, like I never thought of that. I mean, that's such a great idea. And so yeah, so for me, I use that as a tool to improve I guess myself, because there's a lot of things that I don't really think of, or I maybe I'm just like, I don't open my mind as much until I like I put into the AI, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's such a great idea. And then from that, I can build myself a lot better, if that makes sense. Yeah. So yeah.
yeah, that makes perfect sense. I mean, hey, I mean, we're given a great gift, and I think a lot of us can either utilize it one way or another. I
Mhm.
think now is actually the time to actually figure that out. As I think for every individual person, um, would be a good idea. Gives you something else to do, and kind of expand the mind, because like I said, once you figure something out or you have an idea and you can do it, hey, you can roll with it and you can go with it and do it. So that would
Yeah.
be interesting to see kind of like what evolves in the space,
Mhm.
like just even when in the project on the Web3 spaces that we're in, like we're like in
Yeah.
the infancy stages, and like even on the candy side with like Futureverse, like where's
Right.
all this gonna go now? Well, I know it's going up, but how far is this gonna go up, and what's gonna happen in the whole space? And
Yeah.
just like every day, at least, going in on all these drops, engaging with the community on Discord, or even just seeing them in person, just reignites the spark every time for me.
Mhm.
going, go a couple of days or maybe a week without talking to somebody, or maybe months without talking to some people, and then going back and joining together just reignites that whole thing back up again. Like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I agree. And like touching on, getting AI to help us, I am looking forward to when you're able to, well, I don't know if you'll ever have a completion of the movie that you want to do, because you're always traveling and seeing these movies in different places. So it's like an ongoing series probably for you. But that's going to be so cool when you're done with maybe the first part and you put it out there publicly. We get to see like the travels of Kristopher on his cinematic adventures.
I was actually thinking about actually doing that, just getting like a little DJI Pocket has this new camera that I've actually been eyeing. So I was looking to maybe take something portable with me, cutting it down and editing, because I got Final Cut Pro. So just cutting it down and getting that started.
And just putting it out there little by little.
Putting it out there.
Yeah.
I find video editing very what's the word I'm looking for? Therapeutic. Yeah. I've said it many times, I'm sure a broken record, but I have so much ideas in my head that it has to come out. And if it doesn't come out, Kristopher, I drive my wife nuts.
Yeah.
So
I like, because I'm an input output guy, because IT, but I like when it outputs the same speed that it actually is coming into my head.
Yeah.
But what I mean by that is, in conjunction to the keyboard, I actually use what is called the Loop Deck CT. So that cuts down like that mouse click process to where you can just do like shortcuts.
Just streamlining it.
Streamlining it. Like, it's just streamlining. Not only that, but you can do any program. You can do your computer, your operating system, and just streamline it. And it's so nice. I get it.
Oh, it's a new toy. If I
yeah.
Okay, I'm not writing it down, but I can always check the tapes, D.
Well, I was gonna say, I can just, as soon as this stream is done, you guys are gonna be DMing each other. So what was it that you said? Like,
I already got a Christmas list here I'm gonna go take a look at when we're done.
No, that's great though. You guys can conversate over that and just have each other to talk with and bounce off ideas over each other. Oh, he fell asleep.
He's out. He's like a rock right now.
Yeah. But yeah, Oz, I see Oz in the chats. Osman Collect 63. He's a huge movie buff as well.
He is.
And so he asked, what do you think? What did you think of 28 years later?
28 years later.
Was it worth the wait?
Was it worth the wait? My younger self. I think it was. I think that the story tied up, and I've been getting pretty good at this now. I don't do spoilers. I've never have.
You're the man.
I don't even watch movie trailers, by the way, either. I don't.
I have a hard time doing that.
I think for the past 5 years, I just go to the movies. I literally get the ticket and just go.
And just like, what the heck? Let's give it a try. That's
and
a
then
good way to.
And then they created a whole new event of that. It's like, let's do it. Let's call it Screen Unseen, and we won't tell anybody what the movie is, and we'll just charge you guys $5.
Oh,
it's like a blind box.
They were watching me and watching my ticketing purchases and figuring out like what I was doing, and like correlating it with my posts. They're very good. This company is probably about as good as some of these screenwriters, like trying to find all of like this information to make a TV show.
Is this AMC you're talking about?
This is AMC. Like this is what I think a lot of companies, and I won't mention them right now. I think a lot of companies looked at them. If you look at the timeline, looked at them for guidance.
Is it still the CEO, Aaron? What's his name?
Adam Aaron. Yes.
Adam Aaron, is that him? Yeah. Because I was part of AMC during the meme thing,
Yes.
and AMC was my very first NFT. I still have that popcorn bucket.
Oh, okay. There you go.
That was my first NFT, man, on wax.
Nice. See, and then wax, yeah, that was another thing too. That was another thing. Like that was like wax, nifty. Nifty was gone, of course. But I was like, what's going on here? Like, what's you secretly being told?
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing like people don't really talk about that part. Like that was cool that Vivi was a part of a deal with AMC before the whole thing. And like I just want to know how that got correlated with if we can bring it back. So I'm trying to do right now. I'm trying to bring it back. Before we kind of got it was kind of congested with a couple of movies. Probably weren't the best movies to do them with. But I was kind of really in the back end of things. I was pushing for Superman. But we couldn't get it. That would have been a big push for Candy. I tried on the back end. I tried.
It's okay. We
But-
got Supergirl coming up.
Yeah, we got Supergirl. But no, the movie was great. 28 years later, it tied up the whole saga. I felt like very well.
I want to see it.
The score was great, especially.
Oh, that's even better. Let's go.
Especially,
Score.
I wouldn't even spoil it, but the end scene, I was like, okay,
Beautiful.
that's the nostalgia that I was working with.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
early 2000s, where I was kind of waiting for that to hit,
And is it still a Danny Boyle movie? Has he not lost his touch? Does he still have that seminal feel from Sunshine and all that stuff?
He still has it. He still has it in there. It's still in there.
You know what I'm saying, right? He's very seminal.
Yeah.
The score is what makes it even better too. Most
Yeah, so
movies.
D, like Danny Boyle, he's the guy that made 28 Days Later. He did Sunshine.
Sunshine. That was a great movie, Sunshine.
That was a good movie, and I forget another movie. I think he did News. He did something else, but anyway, I digress.
Slumdog Millionaires.
A Slumdog, yeah.
Yeah,
That was good too. Yeah.
that was a good one with what's his face? What's the kid's name? Dev, right? Dev Patel. Yeah, he was good in that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I gotta rewatch those other two because I don't remember everything. 28 days, 28 weeks, and then 28 years when it comes.
Oh, he did. He was known for that's another one too. 127 hours. That was a Utah
Did we see
exclusive.
that?
I remember that all too well. I actually know the guy who
Who fell in?
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
the one with what's his face, right? Who's the actor that played it? Pineapple Express guy. He was in
Franco.
James Franco.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was in the World Ends.
Yeah.
Oh, that was like I enjoyed that one.
He's good.
That was a nice little raunchy comedy flick. They don't make those kind of funny movies anymore. Like gone are the days of Scary Movie and American Pie.
Yep. Hopefully
Yeah.
they're bringing some of it back.
Oh yeah, they are. Look, we got Happy Gilmore too. I mean,
Oh, that's true.
Oh,
That's
that's
true.
right. Oh,
I
God.
hope that's good. Like, because I
it's
watched.
gonna be good. I think you're gonna like it.
Well, I mean, like, because like Coming to America 2 was just not good.
That- Yeah, the first
and,
one
I-
is
and
usually
it's
always
bad
better.
for me to relate, or even Beverly Hills Cop, the other one that just came on Netflix. It was okay. So
Well, okay, I have an important question to ask, Christopher. And this is a make or break. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
So, what is this is to do with movies, or another, I guess, accessory of movies. What is your favorite ice cream flavor? I want to know.
Yes.
she's going for the hard ones. This is a
Hard
tough
one.
It's
I
not
was
a hard
always
one though.
interested.
It's actually very easy. It's called Jenny's, right? And this brand is the only brand that's gotten cheaper during inflation.
Oh.
Because prior to inflation, it was like $10 a pint for it. It's based out of Ohio here. A lovely lady
Oh.
makes like she like literally goes and gets the cow's milk straight from the dairy, puts it in there, whips it up. It's all natural, in all of her flavors that she uses. And the one that I personally like, my favorite one, is called Bramberry Crisp. So it's kind of like an oats. It's like oats, like with like some like they call it Bramberry, but it's like closer to like cranberry mixed with blueberries and raspberries in a jam.
Ooh.
And just this awesome, like just really rich vanilla flavor. And you get all that together. And like what I will do is I'll make like some pancakes, right? I'll make a pancake and just put a scoop of that on there.
This guy.
Done.
Oh,
It's done.
gosh.
This guy knows, D. He gets it.
Yeah, he knows this.
I'll do that for
Secret.
dessert. I'll do that for dessert. I'll
Same
do
here, man.
pancake with ice cream.
Same here, but for us, like Haupia ice cream, or on a waffle and make a waffle sandwich.
Oh,
You guys
man.
probably get. I if I was out there with you guys, I get crazy with the coconut and the pineapples. I'd be making like coconut
Okay,
cream.
so this is what you do. You go on Amazon and you want to get the Hawaiian Sun coconut pudding. That's what you want. Hawaiian Sun coconut pudding. And all you got to do is mix that and dump that onto your pancake. And that is a haupia pancake, or as we saw, a coconut syrup pancake. You will love it.
Ooh.
And I gotta say this right now. So I just had to say this just to say this, right? Like Jenny's, right? So you probably have like, a bunch of pints, right? It's like, well, how many pints you got? Well, I got 4 or 5 Jenny's.
Jenny's. Yeah, and people are like here, they're like, ooh, because that's like $40, right? When you say that name,
Wow.
here, like people know what that ice cream is,
Okay.
which is awesome. It should, because if you love your brand and you love your ingredients, and that's the best selling ice cream. Like I said, like right now I can go to the store and get it for like $7-8, but like I said, it was before everything happened. It was like $10 a pint. So it's, I don't know.
Luxury ice cream, D.
Well,
I know D's salivating right now. I can see it.
I am. No, that's really good. Maybe it's because she doesn't need to like go out and outsource it because she uses everything local, and so because she can do that, she brings it down, so more people buy her locally made product. That's very smart.
Yeah, and she was like, and it was very easy to advertise because like she would go to like the state fairs
Mm-hmm.
and whatnot, and then like she just had like it doesn't really take that much to start up an ice cream shop, and it just grew, and then she just had like her own little distribution center here, and then just blew up around the whole country. Now I think you can go to like Whole Foods and most like major like organic food stores carry her. So
Yeah, it's like Auntie Rosalani's.
Yeah. So in here on the islands, we have Auntie Rosalani as like the local brand. And then
Have you heard of that before? Auntie Rosalani's?
no.
Okay.
I'll
Yeah.
send
So
you-
I think they got bought out, so they're now nationwide, but like probably not where you're at yet, because it's probably an exotic type of ice cream. But it originally was here, and they had different flavors, like Kona mud pie, which is a
Mud
rocky
pie.
road.
Oh my god.
And then you
So
have like Auntie Rosalani's Haupia ice cream. Like it's just coconut cream. It's so delicious. You got mac nut chocolate
Macadamia.
chip.
Yes.
Yeah. So Google it.
Google it. And then we also have another brand too that is, I don't know if they got bought out or I think it's still here on the island. But they make ice cream as well as they're like a local producer of milk around the islands. But there's one guy with his family at one part of the island that we're on. He goes to like the farmer's market. So before we had our son, one of my part-time jobs was working at one of the market stands for the farmer's market. And the farm I worked for, we are known on the island for strawberries that we grow. And so he would come and buy like bushels of strawberries, and that would be one of his main ingredients to make like locally made ice cream. And I'll let you know what his name is, and you can Google it and check it out. If you ever fly down here as part of your adventure to check out a movie in our luxury cinemas here. But yeah, he would come and buy like bushels of strawberries for the ice cream, for his ice cream shop on, the town that he's in. And it's like high quality stuff, but what was really cool about it when I worked at the market was like part of our produce is just getting circulated in the island, and so it's like we have like locally made ice cream or sorbet, whatever you want to call it. So I thought that was really cool. Um, for me, my favorite flavor besides chocolate is I've always liked mint chocolate chip or Rocky Road. And mint chocolate chip is, if I don't want to share with anybody, that's the flavor I get because nobody else in the house will touch anything minty. So I can enjoy that whole bucket to myself. Um, and then Rocky Road, I just love like the chocolate, the marshmallows, the nuts, all like all in one. I'm like salivating right now, like all in one. I mean, I love ice cream in general, but those are like my two favorite ones besides chocolate. Yeah. What about you, Hinana? What's your go-to?
Well,
Or like
when I
that
used
you can
to
eat?
eat a bunch of ice cream before, my go-to, I'm bad. I'm vanilla or strawberry. I'm really that neutral. Like, and what bums me out is I know my kids love chocolate. Like this guy, he tried ice cream for the first time a few weeks ago, and he went for the chocolate. So I live in a house of chocolate, and I'm the only guy that likes strawberry in this place. So yeah, I usually get like a little small pint for me, um, the non-dairy stuff. But yeah, this is a chocolate house.
Yes, it is a chocolate house, or even coconut. There's some lovers of
More chocolate.
coconut or chocolate. Yeah. Um,
Sheesh, you guys have me wanting ice cream now. Like, what right now?
we're gonna ice
He's
cream
gonna go
and
get. He's
chill.
gonna get his seventh Jenny.
I gotta look for that in one in our. We have a couple like not Whole Foods, but I guess natural food stores. I'll go check it out and see, or even recommend it to them to get it in and like try it out. I think people are always looking for like new things. I mean, at least I am. And we can try it out, and I'll take a picture and tag you in it. But yeah, Jenny's. I gotta
Let
go
me
and
know
check
if you have any issues getting that. Like I said, I ship like AMC merch out to people, popcorn buckets. If they don't have it, I get it. Most of the time with people, if they're in the community, I'll just give it to them for like the same price as concession. So let me know if you can't get it out there. I'll get one out to you. Okay.
Oh, that's
You're gonna
awesome.
mail ice cream?
You can do it. It's done. Hey, you'd be surprised
Yeah.
what
yes.
you can get done. And it's not very often I do it in my life, but every once in a while, you do put those logistics systems to work, and it is nice. So,
Okay.
Nice.
I'll let you know. I'll go look. I'll
She's
go look around
smiling.
first.
Deep behind her head, she's like this ear there, like yeah.
It's cool. I get to try something different.
Oh,
yeah, I know how it is. It's good to try different stuff. I do it all the time. There's like even like this little ramen place, like probably why I'm still here, is this little ramen place. I hit it up all the time. Oh my gosh, it's just the best, like pork, the best eggs, and so I get it.
Man, you're making me even more hungry now. Like, what are we gonna have for dinner?
I already know. She's probably because we're daughterless tonight, so she's as soon as we get off here, she's gonna want Thai food. We're probably gonna get some pho now or something. But speaking of the time, guys, we are at the 2-hour mark. So we're getting close to the end here. This has been a really great conversation. We've kind of gotten all over the place, which is what we like to do. But now, Kristopher, this is around the time that we like to turn things around and we let you ask us something. So go ahead, my friend. Ask us all you want. I'm not going to tell you my social security number, but
Yeah, sure. So I guess what do you guys think? What are your thoughts on the community? Whether it's VB Candy, where do you see the direction of things going? Where would you like to see things go? As far as community, Ben.
So when it comes to the community, us here specifically at True Media, we kind of like to network with all the communities. So when someone tells me community, I kind of look at it as the entire space. if we're going for like specific communities like Vivi or Candy or even McFarlane, even Cryptoys, what I really want to see is a little bit more unification throughout these communities. I'm a big proponent for a rising tide lifts all ships. And if the tide lifts, then we all move with the tide. And so I really would like this. And this is the reason why we are literally trying to like network all over the place. We're trying to like network with Futureverse. We're networking with Candy. We're now getting to know people in the backhow community. We're getting to have a better understanding on everyone around the entire playing field. We're getting to know the people in Vivi, and and this is just me being a dreamer. I'm a dreamer, guys. But I would love to see some unification throughout all these. It's possible. You know what I mean? It is possible. And that's something that I would like to see, me personally. What about you, Dee?
No, I agree. And it's sometimes I chuckle because we may have like all our differences, and this project is better than this project. But when you really think about it, most of us are all in the same freaking projects together. We just are maybe more passionate about a particular one. But like, I own McFarlane stuff. I own, Candy stuff. I own Vivi stuff. I own Cryptoy stuff. And we may have come from like a centralized community, but we've like expanded. We've got our hands in this community. So at the end of the day, it's like kind of touching on what Hinano says, all tide. What did you say? All tide. Rising tide lifts all ships.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, we're all part of the same communities if you really think about it, or at least one mutual one that we're in. And so we can all try our best to get along. We all have different points of views and opinions and how things should go. At the end, we're just like consumers. We're fans of the project, and it's up to the heads and management of whatever project we're in to make those decisions for us. And there's going to be times where we're not going to be happy with whatever the decisions are, and we just kind of have to, I guess, like work through it with each other and the communities, and just like stick it out and find the mutual ground of what we can all like get together and just appreciate and enjoy together, because that's what it should all be about. There's some monetary value in certain things, but for myself personally, I like the connecting aspect, and just getting to know people, and just building more connections and relations with people from all over the place in different communities. So I say just to keep an open mind. It's okay to have your own thoughts, but keep an open mind on where things may go. Yeah, and I think the companies and projects we're all in, they're just trying their best to move forward and provide for the majority of the people, because you can't please everyone at the same time. Otherwise there will be no business at all, because people will just be just warring with each other. So I think just be in the communities and projects that you enjoy, and just build stronger connections with people. That was kind of a rant, and I hope I answered your question. Oh man, I think I answered your question.
Yeah, and then kind of to put it at the end here real quick, Kristopher. I completely agree with what Dee said. On top of that, I don't think it's just also the community. I don't think it's also this responsibility of unification falls solely on just community. Because a lot of us here are trying to connect other people. You see people in spaces. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We're up here right now trying to make a connection. You got other people like O'Milly or the Bat Cows. They all try to make a connection, right? So we're all trying to do our part here. And I also feel like another thing that can happen too is these projects can help with the unification. They can be a part of it as well. And I say this because at the end of the day, we want mainstream here. They're not here. Right now, the people that are here are here. And the people that are here, and that's crypto people as well as the people in the digital collecting side, they're the people that's interested in this stuff. And so I think right now we got to cater to the people that really want to know about all this stuff, whether it's the tech, crypto side, the blockchain side, or the collecting side in general. At least that's my opinion. And so I think some of these projects, as well as the community, can kind of like unify together to try to like have that rising tide lift all ship type of momentum. I hope that answered your question.
It sure did. Thanks.
I agree.
Let's go.
Well, on that note, I really want to say a huge thank you to you, Kristopher, for coming on the channel, coming on the show, and just talk to us. We talked about a lot of random things and things that you're really passionate about. And I'm really looking for, and I said it already, but I'm looking forward to seeing that map of yours turn into a movie, turn into a mini comic series, whatever your other plans are for it. I'm down to start watching the first pilot episode. So let's go.
Sure.
But yeah,
Let's go.
your time.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we're not kicking you out though. We want you to stay a little bit longer.
We're not done.
Oh,
Because I know you're a movie guy, and we would like for you to watch our movie. So we're at that portion now where we're gonna watch the movie. But before we do that, guys, let me announce what we're gonna be giving away tonight on the channel for everyone. So right now, if you enter, you have a chance to win this McFarlane Toys digital Superman right here, guys. So enter hashtag Cinematic Adventures in the comments down below. Guys, it is the summer of Superman. I am so excited to see the new Superman movie right here. I think they're going to blow it out of the park. I love the direction they're going for. And you got it right here, guys. Trunks on the outside.
Yes,
so
Trunks.
This is going to someone in the chat, and then you're also getting one yourself, Kristopher, for coming on and hanging with us. So this is coming to you. And then this is also coming to you, my friend. This is one of our slabs right here. So this is one of our OGs, and these are actually running out of style. We don't have much of these left. These also have utility in our Discord. Dee will fill that in a little bit later for you, but thank you for coming on. These two NFTs are coming to you, my friend. Thank you so much for hanging with us tonight.
Thank you. It'll go pair well with my early Superman Amazon Prime ticket.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah, snagged one locked dead center for the 8th of July.
Nice. Well, hey, you know what? So we actually have another show where we do movie reviews, and if you would like, we would invite you on to do a movie review with Superman. We're going to have a public discussion on there, and we would love to have you if you'd like to come back.
Yeah, I definitely would enjoy being on with you guys and even that call.
Let's go. Okay, guys. He is coming on for the Superman review. We will let you know when that happens. It'll be an all-star panel for that one. Let's go. All right, guys. This is coming to someone after we watch the movie. Now, guys, let me get the movie ready. Dee, run the show while I get that all ready.
Yeah, I just want to say a huge thank you as well to the people watching, listening, and just enjoying the conversation. I see a lot of our regulars returning, as well as some people from the Batcal community making themselves known. We also got Fro and Bro Productions in the house. So
affiliates.
Hope you guys enjoy what Hinono's gonna premiere today. This is something that he's been wanting to put out and get out there, and he's been very creative in the process, and I've been enjoying the behind the scenes magic. So I hope you guys all enjoy this, and yeah, sit back, relax, and enjoy this preview of Cinematic Adventures.
Yeah, guys, and real quick, just so everyone knows, like, I'm a big fan of submarine movies. I don't know if you're the same, Kristopher. Crimson Tide, Hunt for Red October, Down Periscope, Sequest. So this movie right here was something that not necessarily I wasn't planning on making this. I was wanting to make when Google Veo came out, I wanted to try it out. I've been trying out all the AI video generators, and this one was really cool because it produced sound and I could get dialogue. And so, but in order for me to make something, I have to create it from scratch. Characters. I was just telling you guys who, what, where, when, why. I have a script. I created a storyboard. And then after I did the storyboard, I mapped out an entire story. And then I mapped out every single scene. Everything you see here has all been pre-planned. Now, the generation part, a lot of these scenes you see was all done on one prompt. I didn't have to do any crazy things. Every time AI messes up one of the scenes, I use it. Nothing is a bad scene. I use everything. And if I can't use the scene, I use the sound from the scene. So nothing was wasted in this. I never wasted credits on this. Majority was one take, other than maybe one or two prompts. And this is my entire movie. This is part 1 and 2 together. And this is basically the story of the USS Corsair. It's in the future. There's basically a war between the land dwellers and the sea dwellers. This is also part of my story that I wrote. I have a short story. It's also in comic book form. Yes, this is something that I am going to be releasing as a comic book, either through the Curator program or book.io. I'm not sure yet, but this is all planned. We're also planning with Get to the Comics. I see you in there, Oz, to do a read of the first 10 chapters. So this is something that I've been planning. This is our own original IP. None of it has been copied from anyone else. I hope you guys really enjoy it. What you're going to be watching is basically after chapter 10, chapter 11, the USS Corsair, captained by Eliza Voss and her entire crew that you'll meet later on. They discover Atlantis. They are trying to find the lost city because they're from the land dwellers, or as I like to call them, the Terran, what was it called? The Terran Vanguard. Mm-hmm. And so the land has been kind of like decimated from war, so they don't have a lot of resources. So they're trying to find the city to save the civilization on land. While the sea dwellers, the Dominion, they want the city for their own means. And so you get to see right in the thick of it as they discover the city and then what happens after that. So that's the movie, or at least a short film. It's about 3 to 4 minutes long. I hope you guys enjoy it.
Let's go, Hinano.
Any questions? All right.
No.
All right, guys. Here we go. Enjoy.
Something massive on sonar, Captain. It's closing fast.
I see it. City on the scopes.
Red alert. Commander, take us in. Crew of the Corsair, we've discovered Atlantis.
The Dominion enemy fleet's here! Evasive maneuvers.
again, End Voss.
Captain, lasers from Atlantis targeting their sub.
Transmission on the view screen.
Corsair, we grant you protection. Lieutenant, get us out of here! Atlantis is aiding us!
All right, what did you guys think?
Wait. Is it over already? I have my popcorn. I have my. Man,
Wait, which bucket is that? Which bucket is that?
this says the Doom bucket.
Oh,
here.
Dune bucket.
So we got a nice little
Dude.
sandworm here.
Son.
I think these are still going for a nice little pretty penny on eBay. I think I have like 10 of these.
Oh gosh. Sheesh. What did you think of Hinano's short film?
Loved it. It was great,
Thank-
man. It's great.
Thank you.
I want more.
Well, so there is more. I showed 3 people this movie before I debuted it. And the one thing someone said, "Where's the sea monster?" I'm like, well, you got to wait to see what's behind the gates. Yeah, so I already have the scenes already mapped out for what's behind the gates. So what's going to happen next is in episode 2, we're going to travel back in time to the beginning. You get to meet the crew for the first time. You get to see the Corsair for the first time. I already have the scenes mapped out. I've already done a few of the prompts already. So I'm already working on that production. And so this is going to be a flashback episode. And then in the 3rd episode, you guys finally get to see what's behind the gates.
Hey, question.
Oh.
Yeah.
Does the submarine do 88 miles an hour?
Well, see, that's the funny thing about that submarine, isn't it? It's not a typical submarine, is it? But it's my universe. I'm making it Last Action Hero style, man. But
No, that was cool.
yeah,
I enjoy it. I mean, I'm not just saying that because, well, I'm your wife, but yeah, I enjoy it. I love the second part where it has that is the guitar.
Yeah.
I think that makes it like so much more epic. Yeah, just like the whole the music is what makes the movie even more like even that much better.
well, I grew up listening to scores, Kristopher. So Jurassic Park theme, John Williams, Jerry Goldsmith. I listened to them all. You know what I mean? And so I Hans Zimmer, Bear McCreary. So all these, Michael Giacchino, one of my favorites. And so I'm a person that always wanted to have a score in his life when I walk out the door. I want to hear "It's a Beautiful Morning" when I walk out, right? So I live in scores. So a lot of my productions, since they're short movies, like the movies are only like 3 minutes long, right? But so that 3 minutes that you saw, it took some work, wrote scripts, came up with character ideas, did a storyboard. But like the finished product for someone to put in the work is just very fulfilling for me, because all that you saw was in here at one time, and it worked out, right? From pen to paper to like production, for the most part, it worked out. And so I'm really enjoying this whole thing about being able to make my own stuff. This is my own IP. I'm not copying Star Wars. I'm not copying Star Trek. I'm making my own Star Wars, Star Trek underwater. And I think it's a beautiful thing. And one more thing. So we have another movie that we're going to be debuting next week called The Rider. And so The Rider is about basically an alien bike rider who always wears a helmet. and he's an alien. No one knows, and he's a surveyor, and he's here to survey Earth before a huge invasion comes to decimate the whole planet. So he's pretty much either the bringer of death or humanity's salvation, and you get to find out humanity's salvation part in the story. So it's pretty cool, and I have a preview for that, and I'm going to show it right now. That will be premiering next week, Friday, on Aloha Friday, guys. And that is also a 3 to 4 minute long movie. Production's done. I accidentally released this movie yesterday by accident on YouTube. So one person saw it. I don't know who it was, but I realized what I did because I labeled the file wrong. And I said, oh, crap, my entire movie's on the internet. That's not good. Let me take it off. So, yeah, that's coming on next week, guys. So stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching my work, and I appreciate it. So
that's nice. I really enjoyed that, man. That actually makes me want to freaking go riding my bike.
Yes.
Oh, what? I saw you driving like down in the studio. You're like, that's like such a nostalgic sound, right? The whole retro. No, that's cool.
Loved it.
Thank
he's
you.
Gonna
Thank
go
you,
ride
guys.
and he's gonna ride to the next his movie theater and get some more popcorn.
Right here. You got a non saying AI is the new horizons. Fro Ikomi, Chris is hilarious. I guess you said something up there that was funny. And then Chris Severs, Hinano, that might have been me watching it yesterday.
He got the bell notification. Oh, what's this?
Yeah. Oh, did you see it? Oh man, lucky guy. No one got to see it, but yeah, that's another one I'm proud of. I've got like some like Stranger Things 80s nostalgia vibe in that movie. So I hope you guys like it. And that has been Aloha Friday, guys. Let's run this giveaway and then we'll get out of here. D, any final words for Kristopher before I get the giveaway tool ready?
Well, I just want to say a huge thank you once again for coming on and talking with us. I really enjoyed this like fun fandom, like passion talk that we had. And yes, I will be on the lookout for Jenny's, and I'll let you know how it goes on my search. But yeah, this has been really fun, and just want you to also give your final thoughts before we close out the show. If you had any words of advice or just anything you want to share before we run this.
It's been a pleasure having me on, guys. I do thank you for taking the time to kind of coordinate with me coming on, and keep your heads up, guys. Keep your chin up. We're in a good spaces, communities. Definitely a lot more progress now has come than the last couple of years, and we're seeing finally the wheels spin in motion. And here we go. Let's go. And last but not least, go see a movie.
There you go.
Heck yeah, guys.
Great words.
And Kristopher, we are going to have you come back on the severed floor
when we have the movie recap and just community feedback roundtable / review. So that's going to be fun. I'm actually looking forward to that. We'll talk more in the background in the DMs, and we're going to have a great panel of like people that really enjoy movies, and specifically DC and the Superman movie coming out in literally less than a month now. We gotta find out when we can start buying our tickets for our theater down the coast. I know you got yours already for 3 days before it even comes out. Lucky.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be nice.
I know. And I know I think it's gonna be. Well, I know it's gonna be a sold out, at least in our theater. Because I think they just have three. Stadiums, or I guess rooms, whatever you call them. Um, yeah, and so we're gonna have to fight people for seats. But I think we'll be sure to get that. We're planning on probably watching it on the Saturday, so the day after it actually comes out for us here. Hey, dude. Um, and yeah, hopefully this dude really likes it too. We'll see with him. I might have to like end up going on the side of the theater and watch it from the hallway, but it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it.
Oh yeah, definitely be worth it either way.
Yeah, either way. And then yeah, we'll let you know when we have that all laid out to coordinate with people to come on and have that review. And yeah, I'm just really excited. I love Superman. Like Christopher Reeves was like my favorite. I don't know which one is your favorite Superman, but I'm really looking forward to the one coming up in literally less than a month. So
Yeah, me too. It's gonna be a big hit. It's gonna be bigger than probably anybody knows. Go see it in IMAX. Go see it in the best screen possible. Laser, see it in Dolby. Go see it 2 or 3 times. Go get some merch, too, guys. Get something Superman merch. There's gonna be some really cool stuff out there. It's gonna be limited edition. That's just one more thing you can collect: movie posters and popcorn buckets.
okay, I'm gonna try and land one of those or both of those. If not, I'll hit up eBay. I'll hit you up if you can get me one,
Sure.
and I'll pay you for that to ship it over. That'll be cool. We'll talk.
She
in the
pays
back
in
end.
Haupia pudding.
Well, at the shipping costs, we gotta cover the shipping.
As it should be cost.
Yeah.
But guys, let's get to this giveaway, guys. Thank you so much for being patient. Hashtag cinematic adventures for the McFarlane Toys Digital Superman, because it's the summer of Superman, guys. Good luck, and may the juju be with you guys. Let's
Good
go.
luck. Who's gonna
See
get
who's gonna be the
us?
winner? Froey Covey, let's go.
Oh,
Congratulations, brother. You are the winner.
congrats. I know he
You
was
guys?
just commenting, so he should still be here.
That has been the
What?
show, you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. This has been great. I've had such a great time, Kristopher. You've been awesome, and I would love to have you come back. This is an open policy here. We have a revolving door. If you ever want to come back on just unannounced, feel free. You're always welcome, my friend.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you.
Let's
Yeah,
go,
this has
guys.
been fun. Thank you,
And
everybody, for being here.
We're going to say bye to everybody in the chats, and we're going to get out of here right now. I see, let's see, at the very top, we had Ochoa. We got Leo Millie. Let's go. We got Chris Severs right here. If my thing would work. There you go. Chris Severs. We got Anon and Froen Bro Productions. Froen Bro Productions. Let me know how I did. I know I'm trying to keep up with the, the experts here, the guys who do the real filming. But let me know how I did, guys. Awesome to see you guys. And thank you so much for everyone coming out. We got Hippie2323. What's up, Hippie? Good to see you. Let's go. Yeah, it might be. It may very well be. He did help find half of the studio here, Anon. You might be on to something. So, but thank you guys so much. We will catch you guys on the next one. And take care. Have a great weekend. And aloha.
Yes. Bye.